Yo everyone, so today I wanted to show you how to do this makeup look, which I've decided to give like an Arabic bright Barbie feel to it because of the bright pink lips and all the golds and kind of purples and pinks in the eyes. And yeah, so this is going to be my little makeup tutorial on this look. All the products will be listed below. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy. Bye! So I'm using Butterscotch by MAC and a Sigma E40 taper blending brush as always, just to neutralise my eye, get rid of any stickiness from the primer. I do this all the time, so I may just start to cut that one out because it's getting a bit boring. Now using probably my all-time favourite eyeshadow palette by Sleek Makeup, which is the Vintage Romance one, and I'm using the shade Propose in Prague and a 224 brush by MAC. And I am just blending this through the crease and the upper crease, and I'm using this as a transitional shade. This is probably my favourite shade throughout the whole palette. It's just a gorgeous mauvey kind of reddish purple. It's got like 100 different shades in it. It's awesome and it's gorgeous to use in the crease. Then I'm using Forever in Florence, which has got a little bit of shimmer to it, and I'm using my new hair and makeup addiction brush, and it's called the crease brush, I think, or the crease blender. Yeah, that's it, the crease blender. And I'm just carving out my outer V area, and I am slowly dragging it outwards as well as inwards, but what I'm trying to do is concentrate it underneath the Propose in Prague colour, so that there's a nice different gradient between the two shades. One is very, very dark, whereas the other one is really, really light. And then I'm using a 224 brush as always with nothing on it, just to blend between those two shades to get rid of any harsh edges. Then I'm using the shade Caught in Can, and I am using a Royal and Langnickel brush. I love their brushes, they're absolutely awesome. And I'm using this and just patting it onto the inner half of my eyelid, so that there is a tiny little gap kind of left on the outside where we will be placing another shade. Now for that little outside bit, I am going to be using Marie in Monte Carlo, which is a lovely kind of a violet-y purple shade, and I'm just filling in that outer bit. It doesn't matter if you kind of go over the dark outer V shade slightly, because what you do then is you kind of go backwards and forwards with all the various shades, because what will happen is quite a few will kind of get a bit muted down or blended in with other shades. So all you need to do is kind of go backwards and forwards just to make sure that everything is nice and vibrant. And then what I'm doing is I'm using that same brush to kind of blend between the two golden and purple shades. And then again I've gone back with the Forever in Florence to build up the colour that may have got slightly kind of muted and away or brushed away because of all the other colours that I've been placing around it and over it and under it and blah 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 blah. Now I'm using Pretty in Paris, which is a stunning silver shade, and I am using that on a fluffy MAC brush as a highlight. I'm using it quite subtly as a highlight because it is a very, very strong colour. And then as always I'll use the same 224 to blend between the two shades to mute it down and just to get rid of any harsh lines. Voila! The eyebrows are done, the eyeliner's done, the mascara's done. Now we're going in with Bliss in Barcelona, and I'm using a Sigma pencil brush to just blend it through the lower lash line to give that whole really Arabic kind of smoky effect and bring it kind of to the next level. As always, my all-time favourite kohl eyeliner is Perversion by Urban Decay, and I'm just running that through my waterline. Then I'm using that same brush and kind of dragging it backwards and forwards. I'm actually bringing down a little bit of the black to smoke it out a little bit more. And then I am going to be using Meet in Madrid. I've pretty much used the entire pretty much most of the palette on my eyes. and I'm using that as the tear duct shade to kind of open up the eyes. Then I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I think that's in the shade Havana or Java, one of the two, can't remember. And I am using a large angled contour brush, an F40 brush by Sigma, to basically carve out my lovely non-existent cheekbones. Now I'm using my brand new blush by MAC from the Simpsons collection. This one's called Pink Sprinkles, and I am just using that to place it all over my cheeks. I generally don't keep blushes on the apples of my cheeks because I've got a round face. I tend to push it back a little bit more to give your face a little bit more of longevity to it. Using my new highlighter by Anastasia Beverly Hills called Champagne, I'm using a MAC stippling brush to highlight my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose as I like to do, along with my blusher. Then I am using MAC's Magenta lip liner. I've dabbed off or kind of dragged around my lip balm that I normally wear, and I'm just using this to line my lips. And what I've recently been doing is lining them and smushing them together to kind of get rid of the harsh lines, and then I go over it again just so that I can get a really nice even base. Now I'm very excited to be using Utopia, which is the brand new Lime Crime Velvetine. It's like a bright hot pink colour, and you know what, I love it so much more than Pink Velvet. This one kicks Pink Velvet's backside all the way to the pink moon. I love it, it's gorgeous, and that is it for the entire look today.